this, rag this, जय श्री माता जी। हम सभी परम पूज्य श्री माता जी के श्री चरणों में प्रणाम करके अपनी कुंडलिनी उठाकर वंदन लेंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी के श्री चरणों में प्रणाम करके अपनी कुंडलिनी उठाकर वंदन लेंगे। तीन महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र। तीन महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र।
Mata
इसी ध्यान की स्थिति में अब हम सभी परम पूज्य श्री माता जी की अमृत वाणी आत्मसात करेंगे।
Today we are celebrating the resurrection of Christ. With it we have to also celebrate the resurrection of human beings, of Sahajogis, who have been resurrected as realized souls. With that, we have to understand that we enter into a new awareness. There was no need for Christ to enter into any new awareness. He had to come down and again to show to this world that you are the eternal life, that you lead a life that is spiritual, which never perishes. You have to rise into that new realm, which is the realm of God Almighty, what you call the kingdom of God. And he said it very clearly to Nicodemus that you are to be born again. And when he asked, am I to enter back into my mother's womb to be born again? I said it so clearly. It's so clear. Those who don't want to see can remain blind. But he said it very, very clearly that no, that is whatever is born of the flesh is the flesh. But whatever is born of the spirit is the spirit. I mean, nothing could be more clear than that it has to be born of the spirit. Of course, human beings have a special capacity to twist everything around. For them, spirit could be a book, could be some words, could be an organization, a church, or some sort of a thing like that which they have made. But whatever is man-made is not the spirit. This is the clear statement of Christ, which people wanted to avoid and start their own organizations, their own ideas, and created a very mythical thing in his name. And now the time has come for it to be blasted. It has been going on and on for thousands of years, captured so many innocent people, and people are into it. But when you are resurrected, when you become realized souls, one has to understand that now your movement is inward. You are moving towards your roots and not outside. So whatever was the endeavor before realization has to be changed. The direction has to be changed. At that point, mostly we miss. This is the thing today I am trying to explain to you. That so far to a human mind, entertainment was important. Entertaining. To the mind, not to the spirit. Entertainment to the spirit is absolutely opposite to the entertainment to the mind. Like somebody the other day telephoned to me and said that, mother, there is no excitement in Sahaja Yoga. The excitement is too much. We are going against that. We are going towards peace, not towards excitement and this kind of electric shocks that we require every time. See, a drunkard, he's all right in the morning, but evening time he goes off. He needs a shock, some sort of an injection into his body. All human enterprises have been like that. They are to excite your body. Because if it is the dead you are dealing with, then you have to excite it. But something that is living, that is eternal, you have to enjoy it and not to excite it. So the direction has to be juxtaposition, and that is where many Sahajogis fail to understand. How do we do it is the point. How do we make our attention move inward instead of going outward? If you start from the time you are born again, it is much easier, because it's a new venture into you go in. That is the peace of your spirit, the joy of your spirit, which is permanent. You don't need any excitement from it. It is permanent. It is eternal. So the first thing that comes to our mind is that whatever we do before realization, we have not to do. The first and foremost thing is realization comes to you effortlessly. So the effort which is built in your body all the time, the energy of effort, I must do this, I must do that, I have to do this, I have to do that, that creates tension, that I have told you already. So what do? We do not try to compete with others. We do not try to fix certain timing, dates, watches. We do not also put our attention into any endeavor which puts us into effort, but we relax that attitude of effort. It's called as, in Sanskrit, prayatna shaithilya. For a Western mind, it's very difficult to grasp the subject. So try to understand. That doesn't mean lethargy. Doesn't mean lethargy. One should never confuse with the dead the energy of the living. Now we are trying to transform our energies towards the energy of the spirit. So you have to allow the spirit to take over. Your effort of your mind should be reduced and the energy of the spirit should work through you. Now how do you do it? First is detachment. Detachment start with the thought. Let us see the thought. It's called as vichara shaithilya, relaxation of the thought. Now a thought is coming into your mind. Some thought, today is Mother's Puja, let's go. We have to hurry up, you see, you must get this, you didn't get the flowers, now you go to the third world and get the flowers, you must get this and you must get that. Second is, no, detach yourself. Witness. Leave it to the spirit. Watch. You will get it. Many of you have noticed this. But still this mind, which is quite silly, tries to impress upon you that you have to use the old junky instrument of this mind. And it asserts that better use. And when you start using that, ego comes in, you get attached to it. And what you lose? is your progress, and thus the joy is minimized. How do you detach yourself? For a person who is absolutely detached, it's very difficult to explain how to detach, isn't it? I'll try. Now, I cannot get attached, that's the problem is. And I find it difficult to explain to you in words which are human words. But still I'll try to say now. Say I tried something as human beings do in the beginning, just to see how it works out, because I had to experiment. For example, when I had to, say, attend any puja or anything, I used to ask them, what is the auspicious time? So they would tell me, this is the auspicious time. And then another would telephone to say, this is the auspicious time. So I said, how can there be two auspicious times? It's a big problem with human beings. So they said there are 5 panchangas in India. Means 5 books to consult the auspicious time. That's what human beings have done. I said, then why consult? It's better not to have 5 auspicious times. Isn't it? Then the auspicious time is not beyond, has to be beyond time. But it is bound in the time, the way human beings have made it. So it is bound in the time, like in India it is so much, so much, so much. But now here is different. Then you calculate, you have a watch. You see, to overcome all these hurdles, human beings also make certain devices. So you consult. Now what is the auspicious time here? Leave at that time. Then it's a big headache, because there are 5 books to be consulted. Watch could be wrong, this could be wrong, that could be so. But if you are the spirit, then the spirit works out auspiciousness. It is the spirit that works out the auspiciousness. And imagine when you think like that, how much tension goes out. First of all, you have to be a slave of the watch. Another, you have to be the slave of the books. Then you have to be the slave of the market, of the room, of the place which you have to hire. But supposing if you allow the spirit to work it out, then everything will work out and you will reach at this point where it is the most auspicious. So how do you accept it? Just by accepting. So just now if you give up your satta, your own domain, you get into the domain of your spirit. You give up your domain, that is your ego's domain, or maybe your superego's domain. You give up that and try to see things how it works out. Now what is the testing point of it? How do you test it? It works out. That's the point of testing. It works out. Allow it to work out. Don't put your attention. Attention has the second part of it, the tension. And don't try to say, why not today? It should have happened today. We expected it to happen. Why not at this moment? That's your ego. Thy will be done. So the thought that starts moving in our mind all the time, which creates tensions, is not the thought of the spirit. So, what you should say? Not this thought. Not this thought. Yan neti neti vachanai nigamo avochus. Not this thought, not this thought, not this thought. And see how you relax. Now you are relaxing. Not this thought, not this thought. Just go on refusing, accepting any thought. So you go into nirvichara. In that state, you feel the spirit. Christ has done the greatest work on this, I should say, but we do not understand because his life was like a micro thing. See, in 3 years. So we have to open it out a little bit and see what he did. He has given us the greatest weapon of forgiveness. When you forgive a person, what do? You accept the situation to begin with. And secondly, you forgive what you think has been done wrong to you. But because nothing can be done wrong to your spirit, you just forgive because you are the spirit. And when you forgive, you have found that your tension goes away. So even to your thoughts, if you say, all right, forgive this thought, because thought is also not to be punished. Forgive this thought, forgive everything, not forget, forgive. Because then you will even forget that you are the spirit. But forgive all the thoughts that are coming to me. Just go on saying this is a mantra. What is a mantra? Is that power of the word that expresses spirit. So this is a very important thing Christ has given us, the weapon of forgiveness. Everybody has that weapon. Everyone can use that weapon. You don't have to put in any effort for it. You don't have to pay for it. It's just you have to say, I forgive. You will be amazed, your nerves will soothe down. This tension, this pressure of these modern things will be reduced if you go on saying, I forgive them. For example, you go and see some sort of if you happen suddenly to see something very filthy according to the spirit. Maybe it is very exciting according to normal human beings, but we are abnormal people. And for us, if we find it rather ugly, then the best thing is to get over is to say, I forgive. Because they are ignorant. They are blind. They are not yet there where I am. I am the one who is at the source of enjoyment, at the source of peace, and while these are not, so I forgive. And you will be amazed that this forgiveness that Christ gives works out. Vichara Shaithilya is the relaxation of the thought. Now this opposite movement that you have to move, first of all, should start at this point today from forgiving others. Now what happens when you forgive someone? That means you do not react. The power to react to somebody's injuries, insults is finished. And when that power is finished, you become a powerful person. Because nobody can now overpower you. Because nobody can kill you. Nobody can hurt you. Nobody can do anything to you. But it is not, again, I'll say, shamelessness. See, people can think that it is shamelessness. So, if somebody says to you something harsh and something that is wrong, you do not accept it. But supposing I shout at someone, the bhoots run away. You have seen that many a times. I have to shout at people, so bhoots run away because they react. and they just run. But the spirit shines through. So in Sahaja Yoga one has to understand that it is just the central path, is just the balancing thing which is important, is not an extreme of anything. Like when we go to say that you must forgive everyone, is not going to that extreme where you have done some wrong and somebody says to you, you don't take that part of it. It doesn't mean that. Again, discretion is the engine of your movement. So you have to see that if they have said it, something like that, is it, have I gone against the spirit? Otherwise, if I say to you something, you will say, all right, forgive mother. You see the point is, forgive her for saying so. No. You cannot say that to me. So then, that is the point you start thinking. Why mother said so? What have I done? Now think on those lines. So you start moving again. It's a very thin road on which you have to walk. One side is the huge big Gibraltar, rock of Gibraltar of your ego. The another side is a superego. In between is a small discretion path going, on which you have to see both the sides. Whether you are hitting yourself with the rock of Gibraltar or falling into the valley of superego, you should see that you are using your discretion. So, the another thing one has to remember, that whatever you were doing before realization is to go to extreme. For example, now you start some sort of a movement. You say we'll have classical things. Alright. Then you go so classical that it becomes mechanical. Now you'll say give up. We'll start anti-culture. So you go to another side that you become primitive. Till you have reached the end of it and learnt a lesson of your life, you do not return. But in Sahaja Yoga, it's a very slippery road on which we are walking. And there you have to see that it's not your ego and it is not your superego. So discretion has to be used very much, and the balance in this movement, which we need not use otherwise. Till we are absolutely destroyed, we can go ahead with it before realization. But in Sahaja Yoga, as soon as you leave your discretion, you fall this side or that side. Now those people who are of high quality Sahaja Yogis take to discretion first. How far to go? Now for that mother doesn't have to say, because you are the spirit. You yourself, you are the spirit. First of all, assume your position as a spirit and then move with it, that you say discreetly how far to go, how far not to go. Now that is one of the things that you have to become thoughtless by becoming a forgiving person. Most of the thoughts will drop out once you become forgiving. But you cannot forgive some people, like you cannot forgive God, you cannot forgive mother. Certain things you cannot do. So the maryadas must be seen. Now in these boundaries, if you walk properly, you can go ahead. This is the thing which brings you vichara shaithilya, or you can call the mind becomes relaxed. Then you have to have vishaya shaithilya. Means your organs, sense organs, always react to things. Because you are human beings, you see, you are born like that. So whatever happens, you react. For example, you see a beautiful flower, you react to it. Some sort of a thought rises with it. Now you must practice to see something without allowing any thought to rise. Then you start sucking through your spirit the beauty, the glory, the fragrance of a flower. Every flower is a poetry. But when you start thinking about it, then it becomes a dead thing. But you just try to enjoy. Now you are the people who are on this earth to enjoy yourself. Not to worry about it. Just enjoy. But if you are still used to, I must do this thing special, I am something special Sahajogi, I am a very highly evolved Sahajogi, then you are finished. Say, we are all going in a boat, enjoy the boat and also the waves. But somebody says, I am a very special one, I'll try to jump down. Then you are back again into the same position. So one has to have an attitude of looking at things. Try to develop this habit of looking at things without thinking about it. Try to develop your mind on those lines that you do not react. Now that excitement business or all this sensationalization that is today's craze comes from the same, that your sense organs require a kind of sensation because they react. While we must have our sense organs which do not react, because they must only react to the spirit. So we have to develop a new type of sense organs or a new quality of sense organs who do not react to outside excitement. Now if you want Sahaja Yoga to be excitement, how can it be? I mean, it is just the opposite of it. So what you have to do is to see that your sex organs, say for example your eyes, they see something, then they react. Your ears, they hear something, they react. Somebody wants to talk and see the reaction. There are expectations. But because spirit is active itself, it acts itself. You have seen vibrations, don't speak, they act. It has the power to act, you need not react. If you can reduce the power of reaction, you rise much higher. This is a thing which one has to know when now we are celebrating his resurrection, because it is tapa. It is the penance of Christ. Christ came on this earth for penance. You know, in the Gayatri Mantra, there are 7 things they have said it. And at the point of Christ, it is tapa, is the penance. So you have to have so-called penance to achieve the joy. The penance is to pull back your sense organs inside yourself. As Krishna has said, that you have to pull back all your limbs of sense organs like a tortoise does. So the excitement that you require for your sense organs is no more needed, because your sense organs now are themselves the source of excitement. in the sense that they neutralize all the excitements. You go to that point from where it starts. A river starts with a very small little drop, and then it expands, 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 expands. You go to the source, absolutely to the central point. There you will find hardly even a drop falling out. Another good example would be a wheel has the central point. And the wheel moves all the time, but the central point has to be fixed. Otherwise, with the wheel, that central point also moves, then the cart cannot move. Cart will also start rolling down. So the central point has to be fixed. Otherwise, the wheel cannot move. So you go to that central point, and the movement is on the central point where there is no movement, in a way, because there's only ascent. There's no revolution. It doesn't revolve anymore. There's just ascent on the central point. I hope you try to understand that all the movements come out of ignorance. All the outer movements come because we are not yet on the central point. But that achievement is not difficult because you have jumped onto it. But you again come out onto the periphery, onto the wheel. So how to keep there and to ascend in that line? Say for example there are wheels, like these wheels after wheels, but central point is fixed. Now every time you jump out, now how do you go back to the central point? Is by detachment, by tapa, by penance. Penance is to deny. It doesn't mean asceticism of outside, but asceticism of within. First of all, we must learn to give. Give to others. That also sometimes people find it difficult, I have seen. Even to give £1, they said, for Sahaja Yoga people find it difficult. I was amazed. So to give to others is going to be even worse. Try to give to others. Detachment. So one way is to have forgiveness. Then second is generosity.
अब हम सब मिलकर परम पूज्य श्री माता जी की आरती करेंगे।
सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने अवतार, माँ कितने अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा। तू गंगा यमुना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया, सुख ही मिला उसको, माँ सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में हो माँ, बैठ के दिल में हो माँ। लौट के ना जाना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर के कर दिया उजियारा, माँ कर दिया उजियारा। कल युग में माया है, कल युग में माया है, फिर भी पहचाना। माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना। माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर दुख से दूर करना। माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना। माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधुर संगीत सुन लो, माँ मधुर संगीत सुन लो। होए सके जो सेवा, होए सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा देना। माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना। माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्कि साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। बोलो श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
जय श्री माता जी। एक बंधन की रिक्वेस्ट है। डॉक्टर ओजस्वी नेपाल, उनके स्वास्थ्य स्थिति के लिए डॉक्टर ओजस्वी नेपाल। और एक बंधन की रिक्वेस्ट है। मोतीकला शर्मा, उनके स्वास्थ्य स्थिति के लिए। मोतीकला शर्मा। जय श्री माता जी। जय श्री माता जी। जय श्री माता जी। हाँ ठीक है।